Episode 9 is set to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are truly interested in and are very curious about is, of course, the upcoming teaser trailer for Star Wars Episode 9 that will allow fans to get an idea of the tone of this movie and J.J. Abrams' vision of the final installment of this current trilogy. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. However, when it comes to some of the shot descriptions for the teaser trailer, this is where things begin to get very intriguing. Shot descriptions consisting of Kylo Ren sprinting down a hill with his ignited crossguard lightsaber, where his Knights of Ren are behind him on speeders. It's described that Kylo is pointing his finger forward and commanding where the Knights to attack. The hill that Kylo is sprinting down is said to have lots of fire and explosions in the background, from bombs falling from the sky. The next goes over Rey on top of a horse-like creature, with an ignited lightsaber with Finn and Poe behind her, on their horses shooting blaster rifles into the sky. It's said that Rey is raising her saber up high, and the blade appears to be slightly unstable. Another goes over a glimpse of Leia inside the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, with Rey. It's said that both Leia and Rey are holding hands, and Leia appears to be very sad. Lastly, a description of both Kylo Ren and Rey with their lightsaber blades locked together, with a massive explosion in the background in front of a sunset. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this. Now, first things first, what really does sound very interesting to me has all to do with this entire sequence involving the Knights of Ren on their speeders, and of course Kylo Ren sprinting down a hill with his ignited crossguard lightsaber pointing his finger in the direction that he wants the Knights to attack at. So this sounds like it's going to be based within the third act of the movie, that scene in particular. We do know that there's a lot of hills in the background, a lot of rocky structures, for, of course, the final land battle in Episode 9 that will involve the Resistance and the First Order. So I'm starting to believe that that sequence involving the Knights on their speeders and, of course, Kylo Ren running down that hill most definitely does take place within the third act of the film. The next one that I do actually want to go over is the one of which where it's described that Rey is on top of a horse-like creature. Now, we do know that these horse alien-type creatures will be a part of Episode 9 once again. Not the same exact ones from The Last Jedi, but different ones, whatever have you. So, while she's on top of the horse, she has her lightsaber raised in the sky, and the lightsaber is actually described to be slightly unstable. So this could probably be why, the reason as to why it probably is slightly unstable is because she probably bonded the kyber crystal back into one piece where it's slightly cracked, where it's somewhat like Kylo Ren's. Now, in the background, it's described that both Finn and Poe are traveling behind Rey while aiming their blaster rifles at the sky. So we do know that, Poe, Finn, and Rey will act together as a team in this movie, kind of like Han, Luke, and Leia in the original trilogy. And that, to me, guys, was one big missing link there in the sequel trilogy that we never got to see as of yet, that will now be a part of Episode 9, thankfully. Now, the other one of which that I do want to go over is the sequence in which it's described that Leia is on board of the Millennium Falcon, holding hands with Rey and appears to be very sad. So, this is either possibly, footage from The Last Jedi that was unused, where they're going to actually spin that in order to create a sequence, maybe both Leia and Rey mourning the death of Chewbacca, perhaps, or maybe something else entirely different than we are currently expecting. I'm not quite sure why Leia would appear very emotional, very sad, while holding Rey's hands on board of the Millennium Falcon. We're not quite sure. But this emotional scene, guys, we do know that this teaser trailer, we have heard about this before, a couple of months ago, that it's really going to be quite a tearjerker. It's going to really make fans cry. It's going to make fans, feel very emotional. And that, I think, is something that is a good thing by JJ. You want to make a teaser trailer feel very emotional, since it is going to be the final installment of the Skywalker saga. So the last one, I think, is probably the most impressive one, is where both Kylo Ren and Rey are wielding their lightsabers and they are locked together in front of a massive explosion in the background, where the actual explosion is in front of an actual sunset on this mysterious world and the location of this massive battle between the Resistance, the First Order, Rey, and Kylo Ren. Guys, I gotta say, I mean, from what we have been hearing, you know, these past months, give or take, everything about this film seems like it's really going to be quite impressive in comparison to both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. Like I say, you know, the teaser trailer in, you know, person will definitely, you know, speak volumes for the fans, and the feedback will as well. I think it's really going to determine on whether or not fans are going to be excited for this movie or not. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night